Hello everyone, and welcome back to Code with PS. In our last video of this series of basic Python tutorials, we discussed the print function and how to use it to display output. Today, we're going to explore Python's input and output functions in more detail. We'll start by discussing the input function, look at various types of inputs that can be taken, and then move on to the print function to see how we can display the output. Finally, we'll work through some example programs and solve some interesting problems together. Let's get started. Let's start with the input function in Python. The input function allows us to take input from the user. To get input from user interactively, you can use this built-in function. The function input is used in the following manner. Firstly, we have to write the variable which will be holding the value of the input. Then we'll put equals sign and call the input function. Now, let's take an example in which we will display the prompt asking the name of the user. We'll write name, puts equals to sign, and call the input function by writing what is your name as a string. And as you can see that it has been displayed. The input function always return a value of string type. Python offers two functions, integer and float, to be used with input function to convert the values received through input function into integer and float types. Now let's see how to use integer and float function with the read value to change the type of input value to integer or float respectively. Same as we had done, we'll write variable name, then we'll put equals to symbol, and then we'll call integer and input function simultaneously. Again, for using input function with float, we have to write variable name, put equals to symbol, and have to call float and input function simultaneously. Now let's see examples of using float and integer with input function. First, we'll try float with input function. We will ask the user to enter the marks as input, but the condition is that he or she have to enter only float value as input. Now as we run our code, it will ask us to enter marks. So suppose we put 35.5, and as you can see, it has been accepted. If we enter any other value except float, then it will show an error. Now we will ask the user to enter his or her age as input, and here the condition is that the input value should be nothing but an integer. And as we run our code, it will ask us what is your age. And suppose we write 20, it will accept it. And if we enter any other value except integer, say 55.5, which is a float, it will show an error. So we had learnt that function int around input converts the read value into integer type, and function float around input converts the read value into float type. Now, let's look at how we can take various types of inputs like float, char, and integer, and call the output using print function. Here, the int function converts the input string to an integer. We'll make user to enter his age. And then we'll call print function by writing print and then your age is, and the age entered by the user as a string. As we run our code, it will ask us to enter our age. Suppose we put 22. Then it will print your age is 22. Similarly, here we ask the user to enter his height in meters, and the float function converts the input string to a floating point number. And again, as soon as we run the code, it will ask the user to enter his height in meters. Suppose we put 2.5 meters, then it will print the output as your height is 2.5 meters. For character input, we can simply take the first character of the input string. And as we run the code, it will ask for initials and print the output by displaying it. Strings are the default type for input, so no conversion is necessary. So, here we make user to enter his or her city and call the print function displaying the name of the city as result. And as we run the code, it will ask to enter the name of the city, so let's say enter Mumbai. We had not given the space, let's fix this, and let's re-enter Mumbai. And as you can see, it has been displayed. Next, let's see how to print cube of any number entered by the user as input. First, we will write code to take input from the user so that he or she can get the cube of his or her desired number. We'll put in function to make sure any other value can't be entered. Then we write formula for printing its cube by adding exponent 3 to the number. And finally, in step 3, we'll call the print function to display the output. Now as we run our code, it will ask us to enter a number. So let's say enter 25 and its cube has been printed. Let's try one more, say 52. And the result is on your screen. Now let's move one step ahead and let's try something new. In this program, we will take the string as input from the user and print its reverse as an output. Firstly, we'll write string puts equals to and take the input from the user as a string. In second step, we'll define a reverse string function to reverse a string. Finally, we will call print function to display the output. In this code, we have defined a reverse string function. This slice notation is used to reverse the string. Here we had the reverse string function contains string followed by 2 colon symbols and -1 written inside a closed square bracket. The 2 colon symbol denote from start to end of the string and -1 denotes reverse, means the whole string from beginning to end is to be written in reverse. Now as we run our program, it will ask us to enter a string. So, let us enter the string, code with PS. And as you can see, its reverse has been displayed on your screen. Let's try one more this time. We suppose write hello, and its reverse has also been printed. So, in this video we had learnt how we can use the input and print functions in Python to take user input and display the output. Also, we had solved some good problems for practice. In our next video of this series of basic Python tutorials, we will discuss about mutable and immutable data types in Python, expressions in Python followed by some arithmetic operations and their practice. Till then, keep coding.